Hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Kasturbai Azcona. You can call me Cass or Kasturbai. I'm here to guide you through a 1-hour flow, full body tap-in. There is no plan. I am guiding you and I am guiding myself. Please grab your yoga blocks and we'll start standing in goddess pose. Come here, Fiona. Come here. We'll start in about 10-15 seconds. Thank you for joining me today on your mat. I'm gonna salute to you already. You're doing it. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of myself. Okay, we're gonna start kind of like moving, you know, waking up the body. You can shake your wrist. You can shake your ankles, or if you don't like the shaking, you can do little circles. Maybe you hear little cracks and maybe you don't. Inviting little hops. Breathing in deeply through the nose. Let it all out through the mouth. If you know the Ujjayi breath, narrowing the throat, creating some heat, the diaphragm, all throughout the body. The next 4 or 5 breaths, we're gonna start to slow down and probably end, at the top of the mat. Or I guess begin at the top of the mat. Standing strong and tall, proud, grounded through the bottoms of the feet. Your feet are together or apart, doesn't matter. The crown of the head rises towards the sky. Soften the expression of the face. Try to find the natural breath. Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Nice and steady. Okay. On the next inhale, reach your arms beside you and up. Palms together and look up. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale through the nose and exhale, close the ribs, cinch them in. One more time, inhale, reach your arms up and exhale, hinge forward, reach your arms forward and down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Whatever variation you like. I like to grab onto my blocks. This promotes a nice long spine. But do what you like. Whatever feels good here. Relax the head. No wrinkles on the back of the neck. Maybe do ragdoll style. Trying not to drop the blocks like I am. Maybe you bend one leg and straighten the other. Switch sides. Woo, arriving here. First forward fold. Inhale, grab onto your blocks, your shins, or your thighs. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, palms to the mat. Step the feet back nice and slow. High plank, Utthita Chaturanga Dandasana. Wrists underneath the shoulders. You can lower the knees if that feels fine. But I'm going to sustain here. Press the ground away. Shoulders are separated. Nice, strong legs. Sometimes I like to shift my weight forward and backwards. Ground down through all 4 corners of the hands. Slowly, on the next exhale, bend the elbows, shift your shoulders forward, hug the elbows in. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower the belly, baby cobra. Tops of the feet onto the mat, feet together or apart, press the pubic bone down, roll your shoulders up and back. Open the heart and look up. Soften the forehead. Maybe you press the back of your skull back. Nice double chin. Or maybe you look up. Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Sometimes I like to roll my shoulders. Or you can invite stillness, whatever feels good. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, lower down, forehead to the mat last. Flip the toes under, press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. first one of the practice. You can bend one knee and straighten the other. Press the ground away, shoulders come near your ears. You can lift the heels, bend the knees to prioritize the length of your spine. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And please pardon my Sanskrit. I am learning. I am always a student, but I'm a very new teacher. Okay. On the next inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees, hop, step, do what you like to meet the feet to the hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, look down, and exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees profoundly, Utkatasana, chair pose, reach your arms forward and up, look up. On the next exhale, tuck the tailbone, root the tailbone down, cinch the low ribs in towards the hip bones, sustain. Fire in the quads for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, straighten the legs. You're growing, arms go down by your side. Tadasana, mountain pose. Shake it off, do what you gotta do. We move on. Inhale, reach your arms to the side and up, look up, palms together, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, reach your arms forward and down. Relax the head, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to the mat, shins or thighs. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, palms to the mat. Step, hop, float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. So on your own, go to the plank, bend the elbows, open the heart, and you can go to Bhujangasana. So go to the cobra pose, just like last time. Or if you're familiar, ground down through the tops of the feet, lift the knees, open the heart, upward facing dog. Sustain here on your own. Hug the elbows in. 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the forehead to the mat. Instead of going to downward dog, press yourself up into all fours, Varmanasana, so tabletop pose. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, long spine, fingers, pointer fingers are parallel. All right, let's wag our tails, yeah? Look over your right shoulder, contract the right side body and lengthen the left side body. So right shoulder goes closer to the right hip bone. Look at your right hip bone. Inhale, reverse, tabletop, look between the hands. Exhale, other side. Connect the left shoulder to the left hip. And just go back and forth between the two. Motions, side to side. Turning on the obliques. Sometimes I like to do audible exhales, and sometimes I like to do double pulses. You're here for 15 to 20 more seconds on your own. Till eventually we go back to tabletop. Sit the sit bones back, reach the arms forward. Baby pose, child's pose, Child's pose, forehead to the mat, reach the arms forward, armpits magnetized towards the mat. Sit bones are down towards your heels. Balasana. Flip the back toes under. And lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift and reach your right leg up and behind you, 3-legged dog. Press down into the hands evenly. Press and reach, shoulders come near your ears. Little pulses with the right foot up. 3-legged dog, right leg is extended above you, pulsing the foot towards the sky, keeping the hips squared for 3, 2, 1. On the next exhale, shift your weight forward, bend the knee round the spine, turbo dog. Bring your knee close to your nose and sustain. Come on to the tippy toes of the back foot. 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Look between the hands. Nice extension. Exhale, round the spine, bend the knee, turbo dog. 3 more. Following the breath. 2 more. Last one. Instead of bringing it towards your nose, bring it towards your right elbow. Externally rotate it. Maybe you tap the right elbow. Sustain, hold for 3. Press the ground away. Shoulder blades are separated. 2, 1. Extend that leg, bend your elbows, lower down. Try to relax. So you're pretty much like laying down, but your right leg is extended out beside you. I like to bring my arms into a sphinx, so forearms parallel, shine the heart forward. So your right leg can be like a frog or extended or somewhere in between like mine. So it's kind of like a sphinx, but different. On the next exhale, lower your forehead down, hands underneath your shoulders, press your way back up, flip the back toes under, and see if you can go back into a downward dog. And we do the other side. Press down through all 4 corners of the hands, shoulders come near your ears, downward facing dog. The knees can be bent, the heels can be lifted. Root down through your right foot as you lift and extend the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Activate the left glute to pulse the hip or pulse the foot towards the sky for 3. 2, reach your hands into the ground, and 1, exhale, bend the knee, round the upper spine, shift your weight forward, turbo dog, sustain. Next inhale, extend the leg up, 3-legged dog, look between the hands. Exhale, turbo dog. 3 more. Last one. Just kidding. This is my last one. Last one, bring it to your left elbow. Externally rotate that hip. Sustain, 3. Press the ground away, 2. 1, extend that leg and then bend your elbows and lower down. Try to relax a little before you adjust your arms. Forearms parallel, palms press down, heart shines forward. Relax between the eyes. If you're like me in a Sphinx pose, press the back of the skull back. 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. Root down through that back foot, those back toes. Press your way back into a downward dog. Woo-wee! That was nice, huh? If you're like me, root down through the pointer finger mounds of your hands in this downward facing dog. I like to, for some reason, I lift those pointer finger mounds. So root down through all 4 corners of your hands and all 10 fingertips. Look down or look between the feet. On the next inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, step, walk, tippy toe, float your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Stay in this Uttanasana, whatever variation you're doing, for a few moments. I have to remind myself to relax my head, so I let my head hang heavy. But that's me. Do what feels good for you. Next 10 seconds. Slowly, we separate the feet and arrive in a yogi squat. Now, if you don't feel comfortable in yogi squat, please sit on a block on a tall setting or grab onto blocks in front of you. Externally rotate those toes. The knees are in line with the toes here. And we do a yogi squat, palms at heart center, elbows press into the thighs, or you grab onto the block. Like whatever you're doing, it's this external rotation of the hips. Yeah? Relax the jawline. Sometimes I have to press my hands into the muscles, the jaw muscles, press the fingertips in there to remind myself to relax. The hips are full of resistance in most bodies. So why not train our jaw to relax, because we tend to clench when we get into the hips. All right, I'm gonna move on. Let's do it. Stand up. Start to hop. Woo! Shake it out. Go side to side. So lift the soles of the feet, no, lift the heels. So start to work the calf muscles, right? If you need to slow down to feel it, slow down and just do these simple lifting the heels up over the balls of the feet. Or you can even do one at a time. But really, I want you to feel something in your calves here. Maybe you walk on your tippy toes or the balls of your feet. Say, hey there, calves, how you doing? Okay. Woo-wee. Maybe you shake your wrists, or maybe you create little circles with your wrists until eventually we're at the back of our mat. If your knees are sensitive or you want something for your knees, we're about to go into like something that's gonna be on our knees. So standing hips distance apart, slowly lower your knees forward. Grab your blocks, because this is kind of hard. This is getting to the mobility. And hold on to your blocks. Slowly bring your knees forward. Oh my God, knees over toes. Slowly, 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 as slow as you can. Try to tap your knees in front of you. Grab onto your blocks if you need to. Tap the knees. The thighs are together or slightly apart, doesn't matter. Getting into the mobility of the ankles, the knees, the flexibility of it. You can use your blocks or not. Finding our edge. Nice. Still grabbing onto the blocks. On the tall setting, step your right foot forward. Left leg is extended behind you, low lunge. Really passive low lunge. Try to enjoy it. You can either integrate a heart opener by rolling your shoulders up and behind you and looking up and back, activating the left glute. Or you can fold forward. Nice. Grab onto your blocks. If you aren't, lift the back knee, flip the back toes, and lift the back knee, coming into a high lunge if you need to narrow the stance or adjust as needed. Eventually, we activate the legs, lift the shoulders over the hips, palms at heart center. Grab the blocks, extend the front leg, triangle pose, hips go a little back, and then bend the right and bend the front leg. So we're bending and straightening the leg, doing whatever you'd like here with your spine. I like to integrate like waves. That reminds myself to breathe. But whatever you want, dynamic movement, doesn't have to be the full expression. Until eventually we end into a low lunge with the knee down. Palms on the mat, release the blocks. Step the right leg back. Maybe you do little circles with the hips. See if you notice a difference. Switch to the other side when you're ready. Hands on blocks or not. Going into that lovely low lunge. Nice. Eventually lift the back knee. The back toes are rooted down. We bring the shoulders over the hips, palms at heart center. Nice strong legs. High lunge for 3, 2, 1. Then this little moment of free movement going in between the triangle, straighten the front of the leg, and then bending it. Do whatever you want with everything else. Whatever you do, go slower than you'd like. Relax the expression in your face. until eventually we end in a low lunge. Bring your hands to the mat. Bring your left knee to meet your right knee. Separate the knees and coming into a tabletop pose, Ascona. Nice neutral spine. Inhale, look up, flick the tailbone to the sky. Reach your chin up, lengthen or open the throat, hug the elbows in. Cow pose. So sustain cow pose. Shoulders together, shoulder blades together. And bring your shoulders up and behind you, right? Relax the forehead. On the next exhale, press the ground away and round the spine. Root the tailbone down and tuck the chin. Mad cat. Ascona. Sustain. Separate those shoulder blades. And then do a little bit of free movement. Undulating between cat-cow pose. Inhale, look up. Flick the tailbone to the sky and exhale, round the spine. Two opposing motions with the pelvis and the shoulders, right? If you want to shift your weight forward and backwards, you can. My only advice here is to go slower than you are going, right? There is so much to be found in slowing down things. You can start to integrate your neck a little more. You can shift your weight forward and backwards. Whatever you want here for the next 15 seconds. Little waves with the spine. Lubricating that spine, y'all. So good for us. All right, coming back to a neutral spine. And doing little cat-cows mixed with these little dog wagging, a really happy dog with cat-cows creating a barrel-like movement. So if you know what I'm talking about, then please just do it on your own. Or if you want to follow along and listen, please listen carefully, starting in tabletop. Inhale, look up, cow pose. Hug your elbows in, flick the tailbone to the sky. Relax the forehead, reach the chin up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, connect the right shoulder to the right hip. Press the ground away, round the spine, mad cat. Inhale, look over your left shoulder, connect the left shoulder to the left hip. Flick the tailbone to the sky, cow pose. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. You get what I'm saying here, huh? Creating circles with the crown of the head and the tailbone. Barrel-like movement. Some people separate their legs and their hands. Some people start to bend the elbows. Really, this can look all different ways. Just inviting some fluidity into our spine. Don't forget about the neck, the sides of the neck, the side body. Wherever you're at, reverse. See if you can reverse the motion. Notice how sometimes it can feel almost impossible, and sometimes you can do it, and it feels so easy. It's very odd. That's that neuromuscular facilitation, y'all. Okay, I could be there all day, but I'm not. Okay, lift and okay, come back to a tabletop. Root down through your knees, palms, fingertips, and tops of the feet. Reach and extend the left arm in front of you. Left shoulder goes close to the left ear. Reach and extend the right leg behind you. The right foot is flexed. So opposite leg and arm are lifted. Now bend them. Imagine you're stomping the sky and you're punching the sky, right? So we pulse both leg and arm up. We're punching and like there's something coming at us, and this is the only way we can protect ourselves. Press down into the right palm. Keep doing it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before you do anything, reach your left arm behind you. See if you can find that foot with your fingers, right? If you find it, connect the hand to the top of the foot. Press the foot into the hand into the foot, and reach it up. Press it down into the palm to reach out of that right shoulder. Look forward. Woo, you're balancing. 3, 2, 1. lose the connection, come back the same way you came in, or kind of like it. Whew, that was fun. Okay, other side. Reach and extend the right arm in front of you. Right shoulder comes next to the right ear. Lift out of the left shoulder by pressing down into the left palm. You're also doing this tricep wrap as well. You're hugging that elbow in. Lean into the right knee as you lift and extend the left leg behind you. Flex that left foot. Now bend the left knee, bend the right arm. Right hand is in a fist. You're stomping and punching the sky, keeping the hip bones squared. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to not square them, right? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach that hand behind you. See if you can find that foot. If you can't, you're still just trying to. If you find it, try to do what you did on the other side. Find a balance. Reach into the ground with that hand. Lift out of the left shoulder. Look forward or down. 3, 2, 1. Release the connection. Come down. Sit down on your heels. Hug your thighs together. Vajrasana pose. Hands on the thighs. Close your external gaze and tuck your chin for a moment. Breathe in through the nose. Expand through the ribs. And exhale, let it all out. If you want to do it like me, let it out through the lips. Externally, verbally. Inhale through the nose. Relax the face, the muscles in the face. Puff up through the chest. And exhale. It's the horse breath, y'all. It's got some magic into it. Okay. All right. Downward facing dog. However you get into that, lift the hips up and back. Press down into the hands, the fingertips, to reach your shoulders near your ears. Knees can be bent. Heels can be lifted. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice. Okay. Look between the hands, bend the knees. Walk, step, hop, float, feet to hands. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands onto the shins or the thighs. Long spine. Bend the knees if you like. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, reach your arms beside you up. Sit down in your chair. Look between the palms. Utkatasana. Exhale, you're rising up. Extend the legs, Tadasana, mountain pose at the top of your mat. Nice. Reach your arms beside you and reach them up. Inhale, palms together, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, reach your arms forward and down. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Palms to the mat, block shins or thighs. Halfway lift on the inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bend the knees, palms to the mat. Hop, walk, whatever you want. Feet to the back of the mat, arriving into high plank. Uttita Charanga Dandasana. Uttita Charanga Dandasana. Press the ground away. You can even round your upper spine if you'd like. Okay, lean into the left palm, lift your right hand off the mat. If you can't do that, simply you lift the palm up and this is where you're at. But if you're here with me, lift the right hand off the mat, tap the left shoulder, and then press the right hand down. Other side, lean into the right palm, go into the tent or the pyramid hand, and then you tap the right shoulder. So do this. I like to exhale on the lift, inhale on the plank. Your knees can obviously be down, or you don't have to lift completely up. You can just go into the pyramid on each hand. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not going down. We're lifting our hips up and back, adjusting as needed. Downward facing dog. Look between the hands, shift your weight forward. High plank. Nice strong line with the body. Shift your shoulders forward, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart, lean on the tops of your feet. Knees are lifted. This can either be cobra pose or upward facing dog. Sustain for 3. Press into the hands, open the heart, shoulders, blades come together. 2 and 1. Go straight into downward dog or lower down. Go into a child's pose, do what you have to do to eventually end up in downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, reach the right leg up and behind you, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot through. Step it as far as you can. If it doesn't go to the hands, guide your right foot with your right hand forward. Drop that back knee. 90 degree legs. Shoulders rise over the hips, palms together. Look forward. Nice. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, twist. Connect the left elbow to the right knee, palms together at the center of the chest. Look up. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sit the sit bones down, straighten the front leg. This is like your own version of like maybe a half splits. Do whatever you'd like. The goal here is to lengthen the back of the front leg. Look forward to prioritize the length of your spine. Stay with this practice. Don't float off into space. Stay here with me now. Press that front heel down for more of a activation. Inhale to lift up, grab onto your blocks. Extend that back leg behind you. Lift the back knee, low lunge, high lunge. The back knee is lifted, palms together at the center of the chest. Nice. Grab onto your blocks, arriving into warrior 3. So we're shifting our weight forward and backwards, grabbing onto your blocks until eventually you feel so light on your back feet that you lift and extend. Your standing leg can be bent or extended. It doesn't really matter here. The hips are squared towards the mat. You lift one or both hands off the blocks. Finding a balance, activate the left glute, point the back toes, find length through the whole back body, right? For 3, 2, 1, palms to the block, bend the knee, reverse, go back into that pose. Bend that back knee, lower that back knee, straighten the front leg back into this half splits. But instead of going into this half splits, let's go into the full splits. Straighten the front leg, or walk that front heel forward and walk the back knee back. Okay, we're here just working on our splits. I really don't want to guide you through this. I just want you to grab onto your blocks, activate the left leg by squeezing the left glute. Try to focus on keeping the hips squared and don't go too fast. Let's be happy with our nervous, let's not be happy. Let's try to make this easy for our body to understand by going into it really slow and trying just to stay in this moment. If it's too intense, back out. If it's too easy, go into it deeper. If you want to add activation, lift one or both arms up. Squeeze your legs together like they're scissors, right? They're scissors trying to close. Play with active and passive stretching. Use the muscles and then relax. 15 more seconds. Let's see if I can remember everything on the other side. I don't know, man. We'll see. Wherever you're at, slow, slow, slow. That's all I ask. Breathe in through the nose and slowly get out of it. Let our body know everything's all right. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Sway the hips. Blocks close by. Plant the hands down. Root the toes down. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift and extend the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step that foot through. If you can't reach it through, guide it with your left hand, literally through. Bring that right knee down, standing into a 90-90 with the legs, right? Just torso over the hips. Root the tailbone down, activate the right glute. Palms together at the center of the chest. Inhale, nice long spine. Imagine when you inhale, there's space being created between each vertebrae. Nice long spine. Inflate the ribs open. Exhale, twist. Right elbow to the left knee, palms together at the center of the chest, and look up. Relax the face, find a balance, and breathe. Slowly release the pose. Straighten the front leg, hips go back. Your own variation of like this hamstring lengthening. It is kind of like a half splits, kind of like a forward fold. You can even adjust your right calf out of the way to try to sit the sit bones down. Whatever feels good here, man. This is your practice. Just do it with intention, and every little thing is gonna be all right. Okay, find your way back up. Oh God. Oh, lift that right knee back up. Coming into a high lunge. The blocks are standing up in front of the mat. Preparing to go into warrior 3. Hands on the blocks. Shift your weight forward and backwards, forward and backwards. Forward and backwards until eventually you're lighter on the right legs. You're rooting down on the right leg and you're rooting down through the left leg, going into warrior 3. The blocks are underneath the shoulders. Try to keep that right hip squared towards the mat. You can bend the standing leg. You lift one or both hands up. Find balance, palms together at the center of the chest. Find your drishti. Try to make it look pretty. 3, 2, 1. Go back into it. Drop that back knee. Straighten the front leg. Now, you can keep doing what we did on the first time, or you can separate the legs a little bit and go into a half splits, or go into the full splits. Or you can just like keep separating the legs and do a 3/4 splits like this. Wherever you're at, congratulations, you're doing it. Relax the muscles in the face, relax the jaw. Use your blocks to help you. If you're quite advanced, use your blocks to make it harder by putting a block under the front foot. I should have said that on the other side, sorry. But whatever you're doing, if you want to add strength within flexibility to deepen your flexibility, PNF stretching, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, you must integrate the muscles. So point the front toe, squeeze the right glute, lift one or both arms up, imagine your legs are scissors and they're closing, activate them profoundly for 3, 2, 1. Do whatever you want. Next 20 seconds. Whenever you're ready, slow, 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 get on out of it. Beautiful. Let's get a little bit into the thoracic spine. The blocks are out of the way for now. Tabletop bar manasana. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Look between the hands. Root down through the palms, the knees, and the tops of the hand, tops of the feet. Okay. Now walk your hand a little bit, your left palm underneath your chin, so a little bit more underneath you. Reach your right arm up and over. Open the heart to the right side. Look at your right palm up in the sky. Look at it. Try to reach your arm up, press into the left palm, open the heart, turn the torso. Now while you're up here, try to root down evenly through both knees and then bend that lifted arm. Bring the hand to the back of the skull. See if you can find that connection. You can lower if you need to, but really find the palm to the back of the skull and open up. Exhale, bring the elbow tip down towards the wrist or maybe the elbow pit. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close that heart. Open on the inhale. 7, 6, 5, 4. Press the hand into the skull into the hand. 2, and 1. Last time, keep that opened heart. Turn the torso, look at the sky, and then slowly release. Maybe you sit down on your heels, maybe a wide-legged child's pose. Let the belly drape between the thighs. Reach the hands forward. Maybe the forehead to the mat. Prepare for the other side. Lift on the next inhale. Walk the right palm underneath the chin. Reach and extend the left arm up above you. Press into the palm that's rooted down. Reach the palm that's lifted up. Big turn of the upper spine. Now, while we're in this position, try to bend the elbow and bring that palm to the back of your skull. Look up, exhale, close the heart, bring the elbow tip to the other arm. Inhale, open. Exhale. Seven. Press the skull into the palm into the skull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. The last time, sorry, keep that open heart, keep that twist, look up. 3, 2, 1, let it go. I dazed off for a second. Okay, now let's get into the wrists. So go into a regular tabletop, neutral spine, and then walk the fingertips outwards. And then you can sway your arms side to side. You can even lift one palm while you lean into the other. That could be enough. If you want more, walk the fingers to where they're pointing towards the knees and shift your weight forward and backwards. The knuckles raised, the fingertips are white. The palm is kind of rooted down and the heel of the palm is lifting. You can do circles, shift your weight forward and backwards, or even do little cat-cow motions with the spine. Whatever you want here, enjoy for the next 20 to 30 seconds, a nice inner wrist stretch. Inner forearm, palm, and finger stretch. Some people even like to bend one elbow, peel the whole palm off the mat. Those are those really flexible people. This to me causes anxiety, so I don't usually do it. Whenever you feel good with that, a nice counter stretch. Bring the tops of the hands, sit down on your heels, hug the thighs together, almost in Vajrasana pose and Thunderbolt pose, and then you press the tops of your hands on the ribs, so like you're a chicken. And feel a nice stretch on the tops of the wrist. You can open and close your fists if you want more of a sensation. You can't really close them into fists, but you can close them into claws. Nice. You can shake it out, create little circles with your wrists. If you want to do a stretch with your ankles while we're here, bring your hips up. There's a really loud bird. I wonder if the microphone is catching it. Flip the toes underneath the heels and sit down on your heels. So this can be enough if you want to stay here. If this doesn't feel good on your ankles, then just do it for a little bit and back off. But what we're doing here is we're trying to get into the neck a little bit. So literally use your fingertips to press into your neck, the sides of your necks, your shoulder, the muscles in your shoulders. Wherever feels like good, massage yourself right now as you're stretching your ankles or the toes and the feet. And while I do this, I like to bring one ear close to the right ear is close to the right shoulder, and then I'm pressing my fingers into the left side of my neck. Relax between the eyes and the forehead. Once you're done there, go to the other side. So bring your left ear close to your left shoulder, and then press your fingertips into the right side of the shoulder and the neck. The trapezoids. Ugh. Nice.
Place your fingers on the back of your skull, and you don't want to press your skull down to where your chin goes to your chest. Very lightly, kind of guide it down. Feel a lengthening in the back of your neck. Maybe you massage the neck where the neck meets the skull. Maybe you massage your skull and your hair. Nice. Release the ankle stretch if you haven't already. If you have not released that ankle stretch, congratulations, you have a really flexible ankles. Counter stretch for the ankles. Grab onto your blocks or not. Shift your weight back to lift those knees up. Keep the tops of the feet onto the mat. You're feeling a lovely counter stretch on the tops of the feet, ankles, and toes. If you want to balance, bring one or both hands on the thighs. Try to bring the shoulders over the hips, not so far back. Nice. Go back into tabletop, flip the toes under, hips up and back, downward dog. Last hard stuff of the class, we'll do one on each side. Inhale, extend the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Keep those hips squared, and then open the hips. So open the hips to the right side, stack the right hip over the left. See how that feels, and then try to square the hips down towards the mat, activate the right glute. Notice the difference, how it feels. Square those hips, bend the right knee, shift your weight forward, bring the right knee to the left elbow tip. So internally rotate that right leg. Now extend that leg. See how this feels. You're kind of leaning into your palms and then that knife side edge of that right foot. Now, if you want more, lift the left palm off the mat. Extend, reach that right leg further away from you. Open the heart, press the hips up. Maybe the palm goes on the back of the skull. Look up. Reverse the motion. Bring the palm back down, slide that right foot closer towards you, hip plug, right? Try to reverse the motion. Bring the right knee to the left elbow. Extend the right leg up to three-legged dog. Then exhale, downward dog. I think that was fallen triangle. Wild thing or fallen triangle. I always get those confused. Okay, inhale, extend the left leg up, three-legged dog. Do the hip opening thing, open the left hip. So open the left hip to the left side, stack the left hip over the right. And then try to close that left hip down, squeeze the left glute. Shine the heart towards the mat. So it's this weird, subtle motion of opening the hip and closing it. You can always bend that top leg if that feels better. Should have said that on the other side. Okay. Now exhale, round the spine, bend the knee, bring the left knee to the right elbow. Hold. Extend that leg. See how that feels. Maybe you stay there, or maybe you lean into the left palm to lift the right arm up. Slide the right leg further away from you, or the left leg further away from you. Extend it, lift the hips up, open the heart to the sky, palm to the back of the skull. Sustain, press, press, press into the left palm. Lift the hips up, activate the glutes, and then reverse. Try to go the same way you came in. Bring that knee to the elbow. Bring it up into a three-legged dog. And then go back to a downward dog. Woo-wee, that's hard. Look between the hands, bend the knees. Exhale, hop, step. Tippy toe your feet to your hands. Or float. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sit the sit bones down. So we're gonna sit down for now. We're coming to the tail end of class. We have about 10 minutes left. So please try to enjoy these last 10 minutes and try to remember to more so calm the breath, back to neutral breath, back to life. We are no longer, and sometimes it takes me a moment to realize, okay, Kes, it's time to wind down, okay? We are done. So if we can remind ourselves now by sitting down here in Dandasana, so like a big L, strong L.
legs together, feet are flexed, hands are by your hips, or maybe the hands are behind your low back. Bring your heart forward a little bit, so open the chest, shoulders are behind you, back of the skull back. Root down through the legs, activate the legs. So this looks like it's easy, but it's actually quite hard if you use the muscles to try to make this pose look so perfect. Relax between the eyes. Nice. Okay. Release the pose. Use your hands to lift your legs up, bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet down on the outer edges of the mat. So lean into the hands behind you. Doesn't really matter what you're doing with your hands behind you. We're just swaying our knees like windshield wipers. See how that feels. Maybe it feels good on our butt to massage our glutes. That's how it feels on my leg. Now, when you're done, extend the left leg in front of you. Now, bend the right knee. Create a little figure four with your right, the outer edge of your right knee on the left thigh. So this could be enough. This could feel nice. You can press your hand into the thigh very, very gently, not like press it because, you know, it's your knee. So you can just play with this. If you want more, you can lean back and bend that front knee. This is a different, you know, a more intense figure four. You can start to raise the torso over the hips. This, for me, is really challenging. Some people start to go into half lotus here. You can do whatever feels good for you. I like to sway back and forth. It just helps me. It's like what my nervous system craves in this movement. And maybe it would benefit me not to move my legs this way, but for now I'm choosing this. Some people may even cradle their leg. So they'll put the sole of their foot into the armpit of their elbow, right? And then they cradle it, they extend their rooted leg, and they cradle their leg as if they're cradling a baby. The chest is really broad here. So trying to bring that leg closer to the chest, but trying to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Wherever you're at, slowly begin to change sides. Doing what we did last time. Placing the outer edge of the left ankle on the top of the right thigh. This could just be enough, like a Dandasana variation, right? Just like what we were doing in that L-shaped sit. Or if you want more, bend the knee, plant the sole of the right foot down. Once again, we are in the hips here, so let's try to relax that jaw, place the top of the tongue place the tongue on the roof of your mouth to remind your jaw to relax. Maybe even fake a little smile. Nice. If you want more, do more. If you want less, do less. One side may not be the same as the other. That's totally okay. It's usually how it goes for most people. Okay, when you're done, you can sit on a block and cross your legs. You can go into lotus, half lotus. Whatever sitting position feels good for you in this moment, please do so. This is our second to last pose before we do our final, well, this is our last pose before final Shavasana. So wherever you want to arrive here to give yourself some nice big hugs. Root down through the sit bones or wherever way you're sitting. And eventually stack the shoulders over the hips. Rising tall through the crown of the head. Maybe you close your external gaze for a moment, or maybe you don't. Maybe you place your hands on your hips, heart, stomach. Soften between the eyes and relax the expression in your face. See if this reminds you that you did it, that you don't have to work that hard right now, that your body will thank you throughout the rest of the day. Find the natural breath. If your eyes are closed, please open them Open your arms up like a T, palms facing forward. Bring your heart forward, bring your hands behind you, extended. Bring your chin forward, look up. Exhale, give yourself a nice big hug. Remember which arm is going over. So wrap your arms around you. Squeeze your shoulders towards your ears or maybe your chin. Round your upper spine and tuck your chin. The next inhale, open your arms up. Same thing, but switch the crossing of your arms. Cross them differently. Nice. When you're ready, please lay down. However way feels nice. You can place blocks underneath your knees. You can place a block underneath your heart, underneath your hips. Spread your legs, arms away like a big starfish. Whatever you do, try to find the low back to the mat first. So tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, bring the low back closer to the mat, and then relax everything. Finding the natural breath, breathing in through the nose, softening the muscles in your face, softening the skin around your muscles. Softening everything. It's just you and your breath. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today.